Chris, thanks very much for joining us today on our latest edition of our digital diaries. These are for you, an opportunity for you to explain where you are in your digital journey and to pass on some learnings to other organisations that may be looking to start on a digital journey themselves. So can you explain to us when you started to go digital at Plus Dane and where you are on that journey at the moment?
Yeah, so our digital journey probably started towards this end of September 2018. Our monitoring contract was coming to an end, and we had plans to do some upgrades at our schemes as well. So we thought, as these coincided, we decided to bring both the hardware and monitoring services together, hoping that they'd complement each other. We visited some providers and attended some tech roadshows just to see what was out there and what kind of stuff was on offer. And then following this, we got together, agreed what we were looking for, and then published a tender outlining what we were after. A few years down the line, we're now at a stage where we have got a digital system, which is SLS, installed in the majority of our sheltered schemes. And that's where we're at now.
And when you were doing that, looking at the market exercise, what did you pick up along the way? Were there any findings that you found in that initial scoping exercise?
The biggest thing that jumped out is there weren't really that many people offering a digital service or a fully digital service, especially not at the time we were looking. I think there was only really 2 people that could offer what we were looking for. The original things we were looking for is something that would work, because we were worried that it had stopped working when the SDN network switched off. But yeah, then obviously we realised there was things like quicker call times, multiple calls being able to handle at the same time, things like that. But then when we saw some of the offerings, we thought, well, if we're putting this kind of equipment in, we might as well offer a more enhanced service to our customers as well. So yeah, then we expanded it to include things like broadband for our customers, video door entry, because at the time they could speak to see who was there, but a lot of the time people would buzz and somebody just let them in. They wouldn't even speak to the person at the door. So we wanted to give some more security to our customers. But we're also big on the customers being able to see us when we were calling them, when we actually weren't in the property, and then they've been able to call each other as well.
How did you go about kind of finding out more information then? Was that part of the parcel of kind of speaking to different manufacturers and different suppliers in the market?
We mainly got the information by speaking to manufacturers directly as to what their service offered. We invited some companies in to show us what they can offer, but we did do some site visits at some schemes that already had systems installed as well, to see how they use it. And there was a few things that we didn't really expect. Like, we didn't think that, even though like customers can call each other in the flats, we didn't really think it was that kind of setting where that had happened. But we found when we were doing site visits that was actually used quite frequently as well. And we have actually found that since we've installed it, it is used generally relatively frequently at our schemes as well.
So what was your initial driver for going digital?
I would say, obviously, the biggest driver was the concern that the existing hardware that we had wouldn't be compatible with the digital network and that it stopped working. Following that, obviously, quicker call connection times, multiple concurrent calls, and clearer communication were standout features. But we, like I say, we didn't just want to replace like to like. We did want to provide the customers with that enhanced service and offer things like Wi-Fi broadband access, video door entry system.
So you're into this process now over nearly a year or so. What have been the learnings that you've found? Are there anything that you would think that would be useful to share with other organisations who are going through this process?
Yeah, I'd say it's probably to be expected, but the cost is obviously a lot higher for a digital system than what you'd expect of an analogue system. We also found that some of the third-party costs were much higher than expected. As an example, we required broadband lines for the system, but they had to have static IP addresses. And some of the original quotes we were given for these were massively higher than what we expected them to be. I thought they'd be similar to like what you pay for your home broadband, but they were much higher than that.
So what has been the feedback you've had from the customers so far?
I'd say as well, the majority of customers, they're able to use the new system the way they could use the old one. So they can signal for help if they need to, they can open the door, they can answer calls. But we have got a growing number of residents as well who are taking advantage of some of the additional features like the Wi-Fi and the video calling as well. We have a lot of our customers and residents talk to each other. So if one customer starts using something, they might then say to somebody else, "Oh, did you know it can do this?" And they'll show each other. And obviously, it's a bit of a selling point for our schemes as well, for people wanting to move into our schemes, because it's like it does offer an enhanced service as well.
As a last question, your future plans, what's next at Plus Dane for digital in terms of telecare and beyond telecare?
We have actually got SLS installed in the majority of our schemes now. So the next step is to hopefully roll it out to our extra care schemes over the next few years. We do actually have a relatively large number of dispersal alarms as well. Obviously, the majority of them are analog. We have trialed a few different digital providers for those. So we are going to be looking at rolling out a digital service for these customers as well.
Brilliant. Well, all the best with that. Chris, thanks very much for joining us on this digital diary session. Really helpful, some really useful stuff for other organisations who are going to be looking to go on that journey as well. So really appreciate your time.
No, brilliant. Thank you for having me.